Joaquin bearing down on the Bahamas as the Hurricane Center put it today, a dangerous Category 4 storm. I'm Jeff Huffman from the Storm Center. We still don't know a whole lot about what Joaquin will do in regards to landfall in the U.S. and beyond Friday or Saturday. But I want to start with two things we do know. There will be some impact here in Florida, even though the storm is going to miss the state. On the beaches here, there will be an increased risk for rip currents because of those large ocean swells. And look at those wave heights Friday into Saturday. Boaters, beware. 6 to 10 foot breakers expected starting in South Florida and then moving up the coast and still persisting through Monday in northeast Florida thanks to that onshore flow. We also know there's going to be a lot of rain with this system. Even if Joaquin doesn't come ashore, there's a trough of low pressure that's stalled here in the mid-Atlantic states. So as you move up into Georgia and South Carolina, a tremendous amount of rain. We're not going to see much here in North Florida, maybe some wraparound showers when we get into Sunday. Remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about these hostile El Nino conditions? Well, we also told you that we can't rule out a storm just north of those conditions in the Western Caribbean and Western Atlantic. So as we continue to track here from the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network Storm Center, just a reminder that Joaquin is a monster just to the north of all those hostile conditions. So it's in an environment right now that is still somewhat favorable for it to maintain its strength or to potentially even strengthen a bit more. It appears to have now made that westward turn, and we're expecting somewhat of a northward turn late Friday into Saturday. It's a complicated setup because of this trough of low pressure digging into the southeastern United States. You can easily see it. You see all that motion down into the Gulf of Mexico and all that dry air. That is expected to pick Joaquin up and pull it to the north. Right now, it's being pushed to the south because of this little wedge of high pressure and the clockwise motion around it. But we have a stronger area of low pressure developing, and it's that counterclockwise motion around it that, in theory, should pick Joaquin up and move it to the north and maybe even northwest toward the United States. Still plenty of question marks remain with its track. Here's the official Hurricane Center forecast. It's kind of splitting the difference between two possible outcomes here. Right now, the latest track is for it to stay just offshore. But check out these model lines. Rather inconclusive once you get past Friday and Saturday. So I continue to remind you that we think there's two possible outcomes. One, that Joaquin gets pulled into the United States with potential impact from North Carolina to New Jersey, but there's still a really plausible outcome that could take place with Joaquin. It could still move out to sea and have little impact as a tropical storm on the United States. We'll continue to watch it here from the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network.